All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, also known as the apostles and elders of Israel. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect of Israel and that great multitude, the 1/3 that consists of men, women, and children that believe on the gospel of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the true name of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh Shai is the name of his son, so-called Jesus Christ, who are two so-called black men in the scriptures. Alright? And basically, I have this book. Yeah, blasphemy. That's not how the Savior look. That's not white woolly hair. And this is not it's not burnt in the furnace. He's not dark skinned. You look at my fingers. I'm dark skinned. Burnt in the furnace. That's not it. That's a false image. But anyway, I got this book, and it's going into the Northern Kingdom, and it looks kind of blurry. So I'm gonna read it. It says, my damn light went off. In 722 BCE, the Assyrians from Mesopotamia captured Samaria. Alright, Samaria, the capital of Israel. Alright, this is going in to say that, like how on that sign from Simeon down to Issachar, those are the 10 tribes of Israel. Simeon is so-called Dominicans, Zebulon, Guatemalans, to Panamanians, Ephraim, so-called Puerto Ricans, Manasseh is the Cubans, Gad is so-called North American Indians, Reuben is the Seminole Indians, Naphtali, Argentinians to Chileans, the tribe of Asher, Colombia to Uruguayans, and Issachar is the so-called Mexicans, okay? Those are the 10 tribes of Israel. The northern kingdom and then the southern kingdom, as you see, is Judah, Benjamin, Levi. Judah is the so-called American Negroes. Benjamin is the West Indians, the Jamaicans. And Levi is the so-called Haitians, alright? And back to the book. Israel was observed into the Assyrian Empire, and its population was deported to Mesopotamia. The exiled people became known as the 10 lost tribes of Israel during the following century. And I'm finna put this book in some light just to indicate what I'm reading. Okay, it's still blurry as hell. You can see it a little bit, but basically, those 10 tribes, honestly, they're not lost. Those 10 lost tribes came over here to Osiret, which is America. And the word Osiret means another land, and it's in the Apocrypha. One of the books that they chose to take out the Bible, the original King James Bible, and I have the Apocrypha to back that up. I'm about to get the Apocrypha. And it's still blurry. This is the Apocrypha. And this is 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter. I'm going to start at the 40th verse, and Salakia for being blurry. And it says, Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Uzziah the king, whom Salmanasseh the king of Assyria led away um, captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. All right, but they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen, which were the Assyrians. And this is Israel. These are the 10 tribes that's saying, basically, we're going to leave the Assyrians, the captivity of the Assyrians, and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt, and that was the Americas. That country that nobody ever dwelt in or lived there was the Americas. They came over here to the Americas. They didn't cross by no damn how they say it? It was a land bridge from up there in Asia, and they crossed. That's a lie, and this is going to prove it too. But this is all by faith, and faith is the gift from the Lord, Yahweh Yahushua. Right here in the 42nd verse, it says that they might keep their statutes which they never kept in their own land. Yeah, and the northern kingdom never kept the Most High statutes, the commandments. So they were put in captivity, and they couldn't keep their statutes in their land, and also where they served captivity. And it says, and they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. So you so-called Mexicans, Latinos, Native American Indians, Dominicans, Argentinians, Panamanians, and so on and so forth, the 10 tribes of Israel during the Syrian captivity, your people entered the Euphrates, all right, by the narrow passages of the river, and that's how y'all came to the Americas. Y'all came along the east coast of Africa, all right, and it took a year and a half, and it's gonna go on to say that, and that's how y'all came over here to the Americas. All right, the Caribbean islands and so on and so forth, but mainly the Americas. And it says, for the Most High, right here in the 40. I know you can't see it, and Salaki again for that. For the Most High then shewed signs for them, and hell still the flood till they were passed over. So the Most High made the waves basically still. He led them to the Americas. The waters or the seas didn't hurt the ships. He led the tribes here, and it says right here in the last verse, says, for through that country there was a great way to go, namely a year and a half. And the same region is called Arzareth, which means another country. So the 10 tribes of Israel came over here to the Americas. They're not lost. The 10 tribes of Israel, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Basically those are the 10 tribes. And Joseph, Joseph will make up, so that's where you get the 10 tribes from. These tribes on down, which Joseph make up of Ephraim and Manasseh, they came over here to the Americas, all right, which are the so-called, the Aztecas, the Mayans, Tainos, Taino descent, Native American. They all came over here to the Americas, and those are the 10 tribes. These are the Southern Kingdom. These are the Northern Kingdom. And Ephraim and Manasseh make up Joseph. Okay? So that was just a quick sit down about who the tribes are. And before Christopher Columbus came and conquered all these people, it's old writings where these tribes dwelt that they spoke Hebrew. They wrote in broken Hebrew, spoke broken Hebrew, and the tribes were calling the Most High Yahya, or they're known as Quetzalcoatl, and so on and so forth. But the main part was that they were writing and speaking broken Hebrew. They were falling, our people fell off and discontinued from basically their heritage, but they still spoke Hebrew. And when Christopher Columbus, the Edomite, the so-called white man, came and conquered them, they started speaking Spanish or French, like how the Haitians, they know how to speak French and so forth, and they started speaking Spanish, and like how even we, the tribe of Judah, so-called Negroes, we spoke Hebrew on the west coast of Africa, on the old slave maps, or you can look up Negro land. Negro land consisted of these tribes. You'll see the Ashanti people, which are the Levites. You see something like that relates to Benjamin, but also Judah. Wida, they had an old slave ship called Wida, which means Judah. The kingdom of Judah is also on the old slave map, and to get the info on the tribes on the west coast of Africa, look up on Google. It's called Negro land. Look up Negro land, and you'll find proof. But it's all through faith. The elect is not going to have to just see to believe. They're going to believe by the word, because Yahweh Shai is the word. And those are the 12 tribes of Israel today. So with that, I'm going to say Shalom to the whole elect of Israel, the 144,000, the 1/3 that consists of the elect men, women, and children that believe on Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh, in the name of his son, Yahweh Shai, because Yahweh Shai is our mediator. Yahweh Shai is dealing with the elect and the 1/3. All right, double honors to the apostles and elders of Israel, which are of great millstone. And Shalom.